So this leads to kind of what's the worldview of children with attachment injuries, some beliefs that they hold that the therapy model I developed tries to address. Adults at best have nothing to offer, and at worst are deeply hurtful. Not helpful if you're trying to connect to someone to hold that belief, right? Relationships are unsafe, scary, and anxiety provoking. There is no one I can depend upon. So these are all kind of beliefs related to the other, to the people outside in the world. And what a scary thing for a child, right? No one I can depend upon. I'm unlovable. This leads to a sense of shame, right? I am bad. Again, shame. There's something wrong with me. Again, speaking of how children are so very egocentric in their thinking, if bad things are happening out there, it must be because there's something wrong with me. If mom can't respond in a loving way, or dad, or whoever my primary caregiver is, it must be because there's something wrong with me. I did something wrong, or I must be bad in some ways. So these beliefs form a rigid, dysfunctional template for relationships, and it's rigid, it doesn't shift easily. It's partly rigid because it's also based on survival, right? The very small child, if the parent or someone goes into a rage, there's a survival issue there. So it's a very rigid and sort of strong template for relationships moving forward. So this is consistent with CBT. In CBT, we might call these core beliefs, right? We work a lot of times with families or parents or kids or adults on their core beliefs. Where did these come from? Well, this is one of the ways where places they come from. In narrative therapy, which I really like, therapy, the attachment injured child has organized their experiences into a dominant dysfunctional story or narrative, which is the dominant narrative. And even when circumstances change, the child sees only the facts and incidents that fit within that story or those core beliefs. So contradictory information that's contradictory to those stories or the core beliefs is either isn't seen or is misinterpreted. So a parent trying to set a reasonable limit is seen as abuse by the child, perhaps, or an unfair attempt to control them. It's based on kind of the story that they're coming with. So this is the challenge, right? The child needs connection, and the child is pushing away connection. This video has been brought to you by the MMAT Training Institute, providing accessible, leading-edge workshops and seminars. MMAT, Multi-Modal Attachment Therapy, a new and innovative therapy for children and families. Check out our books. For therapists, MMAT Multi-Modal Attachment Therapy, an integrated whole brain approach to attachment injuries in children and families. For parents and caregivers, Understanding Attachment Injuries in Children and How to Help, a guide for parents and caregivers. Available wherever books are sold. For more information and to learn about our trainings, go to mmat.org. That's m-mat.org. Again, m-mat.org. mmat.org.